Hey everybody, this is the Esoteric Cross. I make videos about how to gain your personal power while learning ancient secrets, and if that sounds like something that you're into, please hit the like button and subscribe and gain insight from this perspective in the cosmos. Have you ever wondered about how a group of people can come together to create a powerful force beyond their individual selves? In the world of the occult, this phenomenon is known as an egregore, a potent thought form created by the energy and focus of a collective. Join us on a journey into the mysterious world of egregores as we explore their origins, formation, and the incredible power that they hold for those who understand and wield them. Egregores have been created and used for thousands of years and contribute to the images that can display in our mind when we think about a particular group, party, or religion. An egregore is a thought form or collective consciousness that is created and sustained by a group of people. It is a kind of group energy or collective field that arises from the collective thoughts, beliefs, and emotions of the individuals who interact with it. In this video, we will get into the theory of egregores, provide examples of them, explain how they can be created, and discuss the benefits and the dangers of working with them. These egregores are like platforms of energy, and it is as if they can take on a life of their own, influencing the thoughts and actions of those who are connected to it. In the occult, egregores can be used for a variety of purposes such as protection, manifestation, and spiritual development. And they can be intentionally created or accidentally formed through group work or collective belief. Many egregores are created or sustained by people who are completely unaware that they are contributing energy to something larger than themselves. When done either consciously or unconsciously, they are formed through a process of collective belief, imagination, and action. When a group of people consistently focus their thoughts and energy toward a common goal or idea, a powerful force is created. This force of energy and intention is what we refer to as an egregore. For example, if you decided to create a volunteer group within your community, you probably will set out a clear list of goals and an agenda. People will sign up to this volunteer group and likely they will contribute their ideas and insights. They may be drawn to the goal and the purpose of the group. Everyone's participation contributes to this powerful force that gains momentum and can influence things on a larger scale. To create an egregore consciously, a group of individuals must first establish a clear and defined purpose or intent for the entity. They then need to focus their thoughts and energies on the creation of the egregore, often through rituals, visualization, and/or group meditations. This is very commonly done in secret societies and groups or traditions that center on things like ceremonial magic. A group of people can create an egregore for the purpose of protection or manifestation by the following steps. The first thing that would need to be done is to establish a clear intention. The group must come together and clearly define the purpose of the egregore, whether it be for protection or manifestation. People would likely need to be on the same page about this or somewhere in the same general ballpark. The next thing that they may need to do is perform a ritual or ceremony to help focus and channel their energies towards the creation of the egregore. This may include chanting, meditating, or performing other magical or mystical practices. Then they would need to nurture and sustain the egregore. This means that this would need to be an ongoing practice. We can kind of relate this to the idea of something like a beehive. There is a hive mentality that can be created, and some aspects of this can be very beneficial, and there are some aspects that can be destructive or taking autonomy away. In some occult traditions, bees are seen as a particularly powerful and potent form of egregore, and here is why. Bees exhibit a social structure in which the colony works together towards a common goal. They communicate and coordinate their actions through pheromones and dances, creating a collective intelligence that is greater than the sum of its parts. This is essentially a hive mind, and this creates the egregore of bees. They play a critical role in pollination and are often seen as nature's alchemists, transforming nectar into honey through a process of collective effort and transformation. In some belief systems, bees are associated with the sun, which is a symbol of life-giving, conscious energy. Each animal species has its own vibrational world that it lives in. Each species is an example of an egregore. There's a bee world, an ant world, a tree world, a world of cats, a world of dolphins, a world of people. Humans are operating on a different frequency, and we generally see ourselves as separate from these other worlds. We even go out of our way to separate ourselves from these other worlds. Humans have a frequency, specific emotions, thought forms, and goals very specific to us that no other being would necessarily understand unless it were human. In spiritual traditions, a good example of an egregore could be a deity that was worshipped. If a group of people were to get together and worship a deity, describe this deity in detail, personify it, and wrap up large amounts of emotional energy into it, then what they are doing is sending all of this energy into one place by using thoughts, emotions, and attention. What this does is project large amounts of conscious energy into a localized area that begins to create structure. This is also what we would call an egregore, but it's also creating deities. Different versions of personified deities within religions, a Jesus, a Buddha, an angel, a Greek god or goddess, it's really used to create an idea of something. It's a platform or an example of an archetype. This is even used today to create politicians, celebrities, or movements. There have been several celebrities who state that when they become famous, there was a split. There was the real them and the other form that is on TV, that sells out shows, and that people project their own energy onto. That would be the egregore. It would also represent the collective energy of the group sending this energy to a specific area. One great example of egregores can be found in traditions like ceremonial magic. A common beginning ritual for this path is performing the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. In that ritual, we call forth the 4 archangels associated with the 4 elements. We are participating in the egregore of these beings that represent aspects of us. We are drawing energy from them as well as giving energy to them. Ceremonial magic uses very specific rituals with specific sequences, symbols, and names vibrated in ancient Hebrew. Again, this is because it follows traditions that have put a lot of energy into these things. I get asked a lot, why do we vibrate words in ancient Hebrew? And this is because the people who created this language were obsessed with the idea that God spoke the universe into existence, and they believed in the power of connecting with divinity with words. Their language has a powerful egregore that is associated with the connection to divinity and creation. Some other examples of egregores are religious groups, secret societies like the Freemasons, sports teams, political parties, and even a nation or a country. Many of these are like adopting a lens to see through. This is where we can fall into traps of over-identification. There's a potential of giving your energy away when you participate in egregores. Once an egregore is created, it can be very difficult or even impossible to control or to manipulate its actions. This is because it becomes kind of autonomous. You can see this going back to my example of celebrity. Once a person creates a powerful image and presents it, builds a fan base, it becomes really hard for them to control that fame, controlling the way the public sees and interacts with that egregore. Over-identification with that persona can cause a lot of issues with identity. Another risk with creating an egregore is having unintended consequences. It has a potential to cause negative effects like within the previous example that I gave. Another risk is the draining of energy. Maintaining an egregore can take a lot of energy from somebody who is not energetically strong. It's easier to maintain when you have an experience handling and managing strong forces. This is why performing something like the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram can be really useful, because this ritual is more elementary and over time can give you some experience with working with forces. On the other hand, there are some very great benefits involved in creating and working with egregores. It's something that can bring people together, it can create a sense of unity and cooperation. Most egregores that we participate in are things like our town, city, local community, and the groups that we join or start. Joining certain groups are things that can help give us a sense of belonging and connection. There is something very therapeutic about being a part of a contribution to an egregore. Protection is another useful benefit of egregores. They can be used as a protective shield or barrier around a group or an individual. You can definitely see this within groups like secret societies. Going back to archetypes, connecting with them can be very protective and beneficial. I do think that there could be a potential in over-relying on them for protection though, which goes back into taking agency away. Manifestation is another great benefit of an egregore, and this is because of their ability to bring about intentions and desires into reality. This is because they are like amplifiers. Consciousness is energy, and the mind is the tool that directs that energy. Wherever the energy is directed is growing a garden. This is the key of the Magician card in Tarot. If you have several people focusing in one direction, you have many people sending conscious energy into that direction. If this is on an egregore and people are giving conscious power to that egregore, then this is a form of channeling and amplifying energy. This can be beneficial to the people who are creating this egregore, but remember, this is extremely powerful. This is at the root of movements that overcome things, create peace, and give protection, offer hope and light. And it's also at the root of war, suffering, oppression, and mind control. Truly, this is boiling down to the power of collective energy and collective consciousness. If this was something interesting for you and you're interested in the path of ceremonial magic, check out some of my other videos on these topics and make sure to sign up for my course in ceremonial magic. It starts on May 24th and I only hold this course every few months. So make sure to sign up now so you don't miss it. You can check out the link in the description below along with the other courses that I offer. If you want to work one-on-one with me, I do offer coaching as well. There are links in the description to this as well as to where you can book a tarot reading with me. And I'll also leave the link to my Patreon if you're interested in some live streams. And hope there was something new that you were able to take away from this video. If so, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.